All right. We got Louie Griffith submitting a video. Okay, he's against Nick Mancini. Whoa, right off the bat, there's going to be action. We're just going to watch this one through without rewinding anything the first time through, and then we'll try to watch it again and just maybe rewind a little bit. Damn, Nick goes with the cartwheel pass, but this might be one where if you want to replay stuff, do it, because it is an 8-minute match. So, as far as I know, this is an absolute match with 4 minutes where there's no points, 4 minutes where there's points. So no points right now. Louie, yeah, looked like he might have wanted to enter the legs there. Louie is a black belt at Noel Smith BJJ. He's been a black belt for a couple years. I think he was a black belt at this point. Nick Mancini, at the time, was probably out of River Front Jiu-Jitsu. You can see his coach in the corner with that shirt on at some angles. That's Billy Shaw. Nick's coming in with that underhook, but his head position's a little bit on the other side. It's going to be hard to use it the way that he wants to with his head to the left of Louie, or at least the way I think he would want to, but maybe he's looking for something else. That head position might have been the issue there. But let's talk about Louie. Louie had an interesting start to what a weird position. It was like a topside crucifix still in half guard. Louie goes for the knee cut. Oh, and pops back for the leg. Look at that. We'll have plenty of time to talk about Louie and his background and how I know him, but let's see this here. I guess that's some kind of saddle, but it's not like fully laced in. So I don't know if you would call it that. He almost looked like he went to single leg X, but then he's on the... Yeah, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't even try to call out positions with the leg entanglements, just so you don't see through my jiu-jitsu IQ. So Louie has an interesting background. We trained together a lot for several years at my old gym, but he had got his start... Ooh. Oh, Louie comes up with the underhook. Great hip grab. Pulls him back down. I love that style of half guard. I try to play the same stuff, or that same style of like wrestle up. Wonderful. Louie's just, he works so freaking hard. Like Nick is a legit wrestler. Maybe a purple or brown belt at the time. I don't know if he's a black belt yet or not, but he runs his own academy. But anyway, Louie has the work ethic that where it's like nobody has a stronger work ethic than Louie. You might get people that are quicker, more technical. Oh, Louie looks like he's raking the nose to get to the choke. He's just so tough. Like, that's normal to Louie. That's not him having like a bad ego or being mean. I mean, he must have some sort of darkness inside of him that we don't know about. But it's like he has that type of flat ego where it's never personal, but it's always just hard. It's what he wants. It's what he wants out of you. And the times I've tried to be as mean as possible, as I possibly can to Louie, it doesn't bother him at all. I go hard on him. I don't know the outcome to this match. I think I know who wins, but I don't know how it happens. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to Louie. We have all the time, don't worry. We can digress in different directions and spiral out. But Louie started off at some other sort of jiu-jitsu school that was not Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and they trained all sorts of martial arts, and it was like a full contact. There was striking, etc. He probably worked all the way up to brown belt in that system without really much formal Brazilian jiu-jitsu training. but he had been training with us at an open mat. Oh, good, sweet, wow, beautiful. That was beautiful. Is that almost a cradle? No. Anyway, he got up to, he might have eventually gotten his black belt in that system. I knew he was training for it, but eventually that guy's gym, I think, stopped, ceased to exist. And he eventually started going to Noel Smith BJJ after a few years of training with us for a few years on open mats and rolling times, but not really much classes. And not long after that, they were like, hey, man, this guy's obviously a black belt. And he's a black belt. So that's an interesting trajectory and one that is deserved. And let's see this here. Yeah, like I don't.
James.
When I'm just looking at all those feet and all those hands and the knots and the whatever, kind of trippy trying to even tell what the hell's going on. That's where my jiu-jitsu, inside heel hook. That's where my jiu-jitsu sensibilities are. Oh, there's me on the left. Look at that. That's me going against black belt Dave Adams. Competition regular. I should just start commentating that one. I thought that was this event.
I
don't know if I finished everything I was talking about, but it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the match. But yeah, just a little about Louie with that. He is just the hardest worker in the room. Nobody outworks Louie. He's willing to train. He's willing to really train hard and show up. Shows up 5 a.m. For years, he was training at 5 a.m. with us. Nick goes for another cartwheel. That is a Nick Mancini signature move. But right away, Louie does a good job again of trying to enter legs without getting his back taken or anything. A lot of this top half, the way you spin like that, he does a really good job. Ooh, that looked a little close for a second. It's like a potential knee bar. And he's transitioning, but Nick might have cleared knee line, but he's not out of danger. Looks like he's setting up a toe hold. Nick doesn't seem fazed by the toe hold. The inside heel look, got him. Wow. That must have been with almost no time left. I do believe that was a submission win, inside heel hook for Louie. But there could not have been much time left. Nick stuffed him with the handshake afterwards. Just kidding. Nick's a very nice guy. I'm sure he went right over to Louie's corner to shake his coach's hand. So right off the bat, look at the energy. Now we see the wiriness of the beginning of the match. They kept a great pace for the entirety of what had to have been close to 8 minutes. Deja vu. Nick cartwheeling again. So we're just going to watch this one more time through. I might rewind it a little bit. It's a long match. I just want to see if there's some things to... Look how little there's actual static... I would say static movement. Look how little they are static. Louie is constantly working here, and Nick is adjusting and doing his best too. Nick is constantly trying. Louie is just a step ahead. It'd be an interesting rematch. Nick is so active in the competition scene and is just, every 6 months, he's just a new form, and now he's running his own program. But Louie's just a step ahead here everywhere. Nick just can't find his footing with Louie's transitions and scrambles and control. It's just, it's two closely matched guys where one guy is just a step or half step ahead. These little things Nick can earn back, like it looked like, oh, I'm going to get close guard, I'm going to get half guard, enter deep half. He just can't take the momentum any further than one step to the volley. And then bam, every time Nick jumps one step, Louie gets 2 steps, 3 steps. Nick has really good defense here and awareness. He's a well-rounded grappler too, very familiar with the legs, is always in, these super fights, these sub-only matches, and at his weight class, and especially competing against a lot of black belts, you better be versed in leg locks. See here. Louie seems very, very comfortable in this match. Oh, great attempt there. And then, yeah, like Nick, again, he gets past the hip line for a second, but there's no connection. And let's watch this again. So Nick's going to jump, but there's no connection, so there's no control. And it allows Louie in that split second to come up, grab around the backside. Boom! That's it. That hip grab. Watch how Louie grabs the hip. This is such an important part to no-gi scrambles, knowing where the handles on the body are. Boom! He pops up under the leg. Beautiful. That is really beautiful. And it's like these little things you look for in the scramble, take a scramble and make it no longer a scramble. That is a position. That is a thing. That's something that Louie is doing, and it's not just heat of the moment. It's a very specific part of his game. And once you tunnel in on these things, you create positions between the positions, and the scramble ceases to be a scramble. And that's what Louie is great at. He's great in between the positions. There is that mean, bad Louie. Mean Louie. What did Nick do to you? Raking up on his nose like that. Look at this. I mean, Louie is just so athletic and flexible too. The way he's so dynamic. Every time Nick creates positive movement, Louie is yeah, no wonder you need a fucking wipe of your nose because of that dick over there raking your nose up through to your brain. Remember when we thought that was a thing? You could jam someone's nose bone up into their brain? How dare you, Louie? How does Louie look himself in the mirror? All right, back to grappling. Here we go. Oh, points are live. We're halfway through the match. Gosh, just such good use of the shins here, the frames. And it's not like Nick is doing a bad job. He's really moving well. It's just like that. Oh, man. Louie just has an ability to get his hips stuck to the mat in those scrambles and uses the opportunity to come up on top. Let's watch that one just one more time. So Louie's on bottom here, grabs under the leg. That's probably some name, I don't know, De La Hiva, some shit. And yeah, he just puts Nick on his butt and then keeps his hips on the mat. And any opportunity Louie can get up off the mat when there's a connection, he's going to do it. Look at that step over, too. Great movement. Let's watch this entry here. So Louie is trying to, oh, man, he loves that. He loves that, like, almost knee cut and then spin back. He loves that movement. He's done something. I don't know if it was the same thing he did earlier in the match. I think he did it already earlier in the match. I know I talked about it the first time through. I think I did. But either way, he does that type of movement a lot, and he's just damn good at it. But if he ever rakes my nose up like he tried to do to Nick, it'll be the end of him. Nick definitely feels a little bit of the pressure. He's like, whenever you start reaching up at your opponent's head, you're probably a little worried, but he's doing a good job of he either has the foot too far past, then he pulls it away, now he's jamming, now he's got his foot in Louie's throat saying, how do you like it? Yeah, Louie, yeah, maybe telegraphed that inside heel hook a bit, but still almost got it. But Nick knew then, like, oh, I see what you're going for. There's that beautiful Mike Turpin on the left, just applying pressure moments before hitting a pillow choke. I think that was the day I hit a pillow choke. If not, it was an arm triangle. Might have been an arm triangle. I think it was a pillow choke. Let's get back to Louie, Griffith, Nick Mancini, Billy Shaw, my ref on the right. Yeah, Louie's just comfortable. He's just sitting in a comfortable position here. He's just waiting for the connection. He's inching forward. He's keeping pressure, but he's not really worried. He's keeping Nick squared up in front of him. And that space that Nick is keeping, Louie's not worried about it. You see this here? This is a perfect time. See, Nick has all this, so he's going to go for this cartwheel. But there's just too much space and there's no connection, and Louie keeps up. He's so focused. There's so much tunnel vision. He's just going to stay square. He's just going to stay in front of Nick. And if Nick happened to get past him, he would have grabbed the leg. He would have come up from behind him. He would have looked for an underhook. You know? He's just ready to track the open space. And Nick thrives in the open space. Nick does a lot of connection-free passing, and I just don't know if that works well on Louie. He's too dynamic. Here we almost see what looked like, that might have almost been a knee bar. We're getting close to the end here. He's going for a lateral knee bar. That one doesn't seem to faze him. He's going for some weird, Mikey lock, different types of foot locks here, toe hold. It's just one after the other, though. It's one after the other. And that is it. Inside heel hook. Killer match, Louie. Good job, Nick. Louie's a beast. I mean, it happens. And Nick lays it on the line. He beats a lot of good guys. He's lost some matches, and he always just has a good attitude about it. So props to Nick as well. He's an amazing competitor, and he's a friend of mine as well. So I might actually like him more than Louie, to be honest. No, I'm just kidding, Lou. Yeah, Noel Smith, BJJ, Louie Griffith, black belt. Click subscribe. Click like. Go to bjjshortcuts.com. Enter your email. Thank you. Great video.